You're probably wondering, who the fuck do I think I am to be telling you about smart people? How smart am I? And can I prove it? How many academic papers have I published? How many inventions do I have in my bag? How many awards have I won for my intelligence and revolutionary ideas? How many philosophies can I attribute to my name? How many discoveries? You probably expect me to be telling you so many things, but unfortunately, I don't have any of that. If that's the kind of person you're trying to listen to, and he's not here, the only little bit of evidence I have is that I took a couple or 3 or 4 IQ tests at different periods of my life, and I would say my scores were somewhere between 145 and 157, depending on the day and the website I went to take the test. I'm not going to say the tests are completely accurate or anything like that, or that they are a measure of intelligence. I don't think that metric is not really a sign of your intelligence. Although for common folk, that's a common way to tell if a person is intelligent. So if you don't know what an IQ test is, it's a measure of intelligence based mostly on your ability uh, to do math calculations, understand language nuances, and just spot patterns and everything like that. So, especially because I'm from a third world country, Kenya, that score is very high. English is not my first language. Math is not my strong suit. Maybe I think the only powerful thing that was in my favor there was pattern recognition. I'm pretty good at seeing patterns in random things. So, yeah, that kind of helps. So, that's my basis for my argument today. And I'll start right away because I've already wasted two minutes of your life trying to convince you that I'm smart. So one, I have several, but I'll start with the easiest one. You probably know, and I'm assuming you're a smart person as well. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, or you can talk to me in person if you know my contact. So one thing is, our smart person is afraid of is being wrong. Yeah, I know. I know it's common for people to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I didn't see that." But that's not a quality of a smart person. Saying they are wrong is not as is not something he or she just says and forgets. No, it's a big blow to the person's identity because the person identifies as a smart person, and identifying as a smart person, you identify with being right all the time and in everything. It's not a kind where you get evidence and I just say I was wrong, I mistook. No. As a smart person, you will find yourself defending the wrong ideas for years and years. And just because admitting you are wrong is just not it's just not something you can accept. Yeah. If, if you don't identify as a smart person, you probably find it's very easy to say you're wrong and just move on to the next thing. The next thing is wrong as like, hey, let the smart people deal with this. I didn't know. I was totally confused. But a smart person will blame anything other than their intelligence. Oh, the equipment I was using was not advanced enough. Or the people I was working with are not as smart as I am. That's why we came up with the wrong conclusion. Oh, there's just not enough evidence. That's why I came up with that conclusion. The problem is not my brain misfiring, coming up with the wrong conclusion. It's circumstances outside of me. I'm a smart person and I am always right uh, given the right circumstances and everything. And that's a difficult thing because once a smart person looks at a problem and realizes that, whoa, I'm going to be wrong if I try to solve this or if I try to do this, they're going to avoid it. It's the people who are less smart who are more willing to try and fail 1,000 times before they come up with something revolutionary. But as a smart person only goes into an idea when there is some chance that uh, they're going to succeed in it, and it's going to boost their ego and solidify their position as the smartest person in the society. That's a thing. So that's commonly known. I think you might have known this, so I'm not talking. But there is one thing that a smart person is afraid of, that I haven't heard being talked about a lot online anywhere. They're afraid of drugs. And you may ask why. Why is a smart person afraid of drugs? You know, drugs are mind altering substances. When you take a drug, it changes how you feel, it changes how you see things, it changes how you smell things or taste things. It generally changes reality into something that I cannot explain. So that's a big blow to a smart person. You know, a smart person will have a very rigid mindset. You know, they know how the world works. They deal with facts. They can differentiate between facts and fiction. And facts are always the same, no matter where you are, no matter who is talking. Facts are facts. Opinions change all the time, and fiction is also something that moves with the waves and all that. But facts are facts. And you know, to a smart person, reality is a fact. You know, they know how reality works. They know the methods that are acceptable. They know everything about what they need to do. They have analyzed life from a very logical point of view. They know the best decisions that you could make in a particular solution. Like they have answers to life and how life runs and how life should go. The search for happiness, the search for love, the search for God, the search for yourself, your identity, the search for freedom. Like they have answers to all these things. They have studied and done experiments and all these things before they came up with conclusions. So there is this thing like you just took some alcohol yesterday. Let me just say you took some alcohol, and you can't remember what happened yesterday. Like apparently you were dancing on the streets naked, or you made out with uh, another man, and you didn't know you're not into that kind when you're drunk, or you're abusing people all along the streets, and you have a court case on Monday to deal with. You know, that's not something a smart person will just accept. Like, how did that drug make me not know what I'm doing? You know, a smart person prides themselves in the ability to control their minds. So when they take alcohol and lose control and do something that is out of their personality, they cannot understand that. Like that's something that is mind boggling to a smart person. Like how did I not know what I was doing? Like that doesn't make sense, you know. I'm always in control. There is nothing that can take over me that would make me act in such a way. So it's very hard for them to accept that the things they were doing the previous night. You know, if you're the regular guy, the Tom, Dick, and Harry of whatever generation you are, you know, it's something you just say casually, like, yeah, I was drunk, I don't remember. Maybe I did that, maybe I didn't. Whereas a smart person, you're not going to just accept that. You're going to explore that seriously. Why? Why does it happen? Why do I lose control? Why do I become someone else? I thought my personality was a fact. You know, that's how personalities are taken from the view of a smart person. They are facts. Like I'm a biologist. I'm an astrophysicist. There is no way I would get drunk and just start saying the earth is flat or the sun rotates around the earth. Like if you tell a smart person you're saying that the previous day are gonna be like, no, I really can't do that. And there are some psychoactive substances such as opioids and marijuana if you use those, and they change how the music sounds. You know, the music sounds better when you're high on these substances. Things if you have taken some psychedelics, I haven't, but I've read those experiences of people seeing colors very vividly, like so beautiful and everything. And you know, there's this thing that when you're on drugs, like the ladies become more beautiful all of a sudden. Like someone you have never even looked at twice just becomes this marvelous Vogue model that you want to make your wife, and you know that's something you do when you're drunk or high, and no one really questions it. People just say I'm drunk, but a smart person will not accept it. It's like why did this person become beautiful all of a sudden? That doesn't make sense. There is nothing you can take. At least that's what is going on in the mind of a smart person. There is nothing you can take that will alter your mind to make it see uh, this woman as objectively beautiful where they're not. It just doesn't make sense. There is nothing that could make your mind taste food and it tastes better just because you put something in your mouth or your lungs or anything like that. That's not something that makes sense to a smart person. So any mind altering substance, any caffeine, nicotine, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, marijuana, heroin, anything that makes you feel better. Feeling better by just taking a tablet or smoking something or injecting something, it doesn't make sense. How does it make you happy? Because your circumstances haven't changed. From a very logical point of view, you're supposed to be happy when your problems are solved. Like you had a disease and it's healed. You lost a job, you found another one. You lost a spouse and maybe they came back and apologized, or you find someone better. Those are things to make you happy. But just putting something in your mouth and then all of a sudden you're happy, that doesn't make sense. And a smart person is trying to make sense of everything, trying to make sense of feeling, emotions, and irrationality. They will not accept something irrational because irrationality is stupidity to them. Saying something just happens and there is no explanation for it other than I took drugs. Like, why did this drug do it? The hormones did this, and why do the hormones do that and this? The neurotransmitters did this and this. Why did the neurotransmitters do those that and that? It's a question after the other after the other. These are not things that should be happening. Facts are facts, and reality is fixed. If you're ugly, you're ugly. If the music is good, it's good. If the food is good, it's good. If you are happy, you are happy. It's not a state of mind where you feel happy but you are not happy. Yes, I guess that's quantum mechanics for you. I'm not experienced in quantum mechanics, so I'm not going to work like an expert. But as far as I know, it's it like it's possible for yes and no to exist in the same space at the same time. But once viewed, then the state is permanently either yes or no. I don't know. I don't want to explain to you about quantum mechanics. I'm not Albert Einstein. Yeah, I'm not at that level. But yeah, so drugs do really scare smart people. And when I hear a video like yeah, this I decided to talk about this because I saw someone who will not mention his name, but as a really smart guy, and the title was I can't take psychedelics. Like I think it's DMT. They were talking about DMT or something like that. So you know, people want to see these things. Once you hear someone had a trip, they took a drug and they had a trip, you really want to try mm, and enjoy and feel the same way they felt with that trip. But if you've tried a drug and it changed your behavior, like you're always cautious. And let me just say this, I should have said this earlier in the video. I also think knowledge is power. So maybe I didn't dedicate as much time to this as I should have. But powerful people also behave the same. They losing control is not something beautiful to them. Like they have to maintain a particular image, and you know, I'm powerful and I'm always powerful. If drugs made me act in a weak way, I don't want to take those drugs that are going to make me look less powerful or demonstrate an image of me outside of the one I have curated out there. Power is all about curating your image. We are all the same. We all have difficulties, we all have problems. We all have times when you do and say dumb things and all that. But being powerful is about curating an image, which sometimes is very hard to keep up. You have to use a lot of lies and everything. I know. So drugs are a big problem for a powerful person. The president is not just going to take DMT and experience or mushrooms and experience a trip and experience a change in reality. No, you want to feel like the president because that's what reality is. That's what makes them powerful. Not the happiness, the temporary happiness and satisfaction they get from their mind being altered. Smart or powerful person, they don't want their mind altered. They want to stay at the top. They want to stay where they are. And smart is what they are, and logical is what they are, and objective is what they are. These subjective views that change with putting something in your body are just not something that is attractive to the mind of this person. Anyway, I think I'm rambling a lot, but I thought that was an interesting thing to talk about. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.